So thank you for your organization. This is truly, 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 truly a grassroots organization that's going on, and that's what counts. That's what counts. So what is my role here? Well, as county chair, my role is to train people to give you, and also give you any information that you may need on how to become a delegate to the pre-primary convention. That's the first step right now. After this, I'm running to another meeting. We're going to start putting all the ward meetings together. So how does this work? There's 58 wards in Bernalillo County. Each of you have a ward and a precinct. How will you find out where your ward is? Well, go to myvote.com. That's the county clerk's website. Go to myvote.com and it'll ask you for your address and I believe your date of birth. And when you put that in, it'll tell you what precinct you're in, what ward you're in, what city council district. It'll tell you everything, what Senate district and what House district you're in. Okay, so the important thing here is your ward. Your ward corresponds to your House district. So when you look at your ward, look at your House district and it should match. Okay, we've been having problems because they hadn't updated the vote builder so that because of redistricting, now some wards have been shifted, such as my ward. We have, I think, 4 old wards put together into my ward. So, yes.
Could you explain what vote builders are to maybe?
Vote builder is the database that the Republicans and the Democrats use to pull up our list of voters. I as county chair can see all the Democrats, all the DTSs, independents, everybody else. But if you went on, and there's very few people that have access to it, but that's how we make our walk list and our phone list. And we know who's voted and who your voting history essentially. So that's Vote Builder. The county clerk has their database, which is probably a better database, but it's very hard for us to get it because the state party provides us with Vote Builder. Although I have a very good connection with Maggie, so we do get her database. We're going to have 58 ward meetings, and this is going to take place sometime in late February or early March. So if you want to be a delegate to the pre-primary convention, which I believe should take place before June 6th, which is the primary, it'll probably take place sometime in May, early or middle part of May. You want as many of the Bernie people there so that you can be represented at the primary, okay? So you're going to run to be a delegate to the pre-primary convention, okay? So you need to know where your ward is. You need to know where your ward meeting is. Now, how many of you have heard of the Blue Review? Okay, that is my newsletter. I publish twice a week. In my newsletter, you will have very detailed information as to what day these meetings are going to be held, where they're going to be held, and of course a link if you still don't know what your ward is. Okay, also you can always contact me. My contact information is on the Blue Review. If you don't get the Blue Review and you want to receive it, go to bernalillodems.org. bernalillodems.org, and on the right upper side of the page there's a subscribe button. Push that and then you can subscribe. You'll be getting, it's news from the DPBC is how it's titled. Don't delete it. A lot of people don't know what they're getting because they get so much stuff coming into their emails. News from the DPBC, and that's our newsletter. We have all kinds of events. If you want a table at events, there's picnics, there's house meetings, whatever. And you're always welcome to, because all meetings are open to all Democrats.
Would you say those initials again?
DPBC.
The
Which initials?
Party, Bernalillo County.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, I have been precinct chair twice.
Mm-hmm.
there's tons of open precinct chairs.
Right.
So if you find you're in an area where there's an open precinct chair and you're willing to be one, what do they need, does a person need to
Okay,
do?
on our website, when you go to bernalillodems.org, there's another, if you go to the top, to the little tabs, it says party information, I believe. If you click on that, it'll bring down all the wards and all the ward chair, the precinct chairs, and all vacancies that are there. Yes.
Is that accessible without a password?
No, you will need to get a password, but I'll go ahead and I'll just okay everybody. I don't know everybody here, but I'll just give the okay. We do check to make sure that you're Democrats, but I'll tell my webmaster that if any DTS is getting, now you do know you have to become a Democrat before you vote for Bernie, okay? You do have to be registered as a Democrat. I'll tell my data guy to make sure that everybody passes through so that you get a password. Yes.
You also have to be a Democrat to become a precinct, to be appointed as a
That's
precinct
true.
chair.
You do have to be a Democrat to be a
Within-
county official.
30 days prior to being appointed.
Right. Yes, sir.
Outsider question, so even if one doesn't have unless you're a Democrat, your vote for Bernie Sanders wouldn't count?
You cannot vote.
In the primary.
This, Michael, this
Okay.
is a closed primary.
Yeah.
Some states
Yeah.
aren't, but this state, you have to be.
Okay. I'm from California, I'm sorry, I didn't mention that.
Oh, yes, sir.
And this is the same for every county in the state.
I
I
can't-
mean, it may be slightly different, but
It's roughly the same.
process.
We're all gonna have ward meetings. That's where the delegates will be elected. So let me just say that if you're wanting to, there's a lot of competition and it's not from Hillary. It's from the other Democrats that are running for district attorney or for county clerk or whatever. Make sure that you take your whole family that's registered at your ward address, or anybody in your next door neighbor, or the neighbor across the street, or any family that is registered in that ward. Take them with you so they can vote for you. You can nominate yourself, and then they all vote. These meetings are open to all Democrats. Okay, you don't have to be a county official to go to these meetings. These are the ward meetings for the pre-primary convention. Okay.
I'm sorry, it's getting jumbled in my mind a little bit. Take your family to the ward meeting.
Yes, as long as they're registered.
They can vote for you.
Right.
Voting happens at meetings,
At
not on
ward
the day.
meetings.
Voting happens at ward meetings.
Yes, for the pre-primary convention.
Okay, that's good, so there's not like, I'm
Delegates-
not going to a booth and pulling
No,
a
no, no,
lever
no.
and doing all
And
this.
these are
Okay.
not secret ballots, okay? We give you a little ballot and your name is on there, okay? So everybody knows who voted for who, but it doesn't matter as long as you get your votes in there. I would say about, how many would you say? 5 people to vote for you?
Yeah, I'd say it would take 5 people. But they do have to reside within that ward.
And they have to be registered Democrats, okay?
So they have to be reside within the
from
same
that
ward.
Yes,
If we don't know them personally, do we have the ability to know where the Democrats are in our neighborhood
Oh.
and say, hey, can, come to, I'm running for this, basically go, can you not?
Sure.
you know what, let's work out a
Yeah,
plan,
plan for
guys.
yourself.
Where we
Yeah,
can have a
exactly.
roster for them. Because we print out a roster for each ward of every single registered Democrat in that ward,
That would
okay?
be really helpful.
So maybe I can give you a CD
That would
or
really be
a
big.
zip drive,
That'd
okay?
be cool.
Yeah.
Let's do that. With Charlie's help, we can get this done.
I
Okay.
think so.
I have a website and a Facebook site as well as Gillian. Are you here? Julie's here. Julie's same website. There's about 3 of us who can disseminate that information very effectively. So
Okay.
if you can give it to me or to Julie, it's not competitive.
I can give you,
Actually,
I'll work on trying with you, because I'll
okay,
need some access as well that I don't have boat builder wise. I only have access to my ward.
right. So I'll have to, oh my God, the state party is being such a pain.
Well, that's why I say use my name
Yeah,
on volunteer. Make me do it
Yeah.
when you can.
I'll list you as one of my webmasters,
Okay.
okay?
Question on precinct chair. Is it an advantage since there are so many relatively easy to become a precinct chair? or member of the precinct.
It
office.
is easy, if you attend
What
your,
advantage is that to us in getting Bernie in?
You're a county central member.
you're a county central member, you're not okay, state central members is another, we have a county central, committee, okay? That's where I'm elected, and that's where the precinct chairs and the ward chairs come in. The precinct chairs are automatic members to the county central committee. This is the body that elects your county central, or your county Democratic Party, officials.
Officers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we elect people to the state central, but we're not gonna worry about that
Not
right
this
now.
time.
You just wanna know how to get to be delegates to the pre-primary convention. I don't wanna fill your head with state central committee and blah, blah, blah. No. At this point, let's just get you to those ward meetings. And this afternoon, after this meeting, I'm meeting with the rest of the my board, and we're gonna try to figure out where these 15, they all take place at the same time on the same day, 58
Oh.
meetings
So
simultaneously.
there is kind of like an election day, kind of.
Yes,
It's that day.
It's
Yeah.
more like a
Those
caucus.
meetings.
it's more like a
Okay,
caucus,
alright.
yeah.
And you're going to the state central committee in order to get 20% of those delegates to get Bernie on the actual ballot
Exactly.
for the primary election.
Yeah.
That's
So
It all boils
after
down to
this,
38.
after we get over this hurdle, then we'll meet again and we'll talk about state, okay?
That went past me way too fast. That
Right.
gentleman just
That's
said,
the whole
but that's the whole point, right? Which is, okay, so let's imagine you get elected to be the delegate. Now what happens?
After you guys get elected to the pre-primary convention, which all state central committee members attend and all pre-primary delegates attend, okay? That's where the vote is gonna take place for Bernie. But if you want, I can go and talk about the state central and it'll
No.
confuse you. Let's
Too
just,
much.
too much information. Let's just get you past these ward and precinct meetings right now.
Okay,
Yes.
is it an advantage to be a precinct member of
Not
the precinct?
really, because
Okay,
they
then
have to
going
run
to the
too.
ward, you can be any Democrat.
Right.
So there's no advantage really to be a precinct
Not
person.
this time around.
Okay.
No.
Not for another 2 years.
Yeah,
You're talking about being a precinct chair.
Yeah.
right. Right now, it doesn't matter. I have to run. I'm not an automatic delegate. Except that I am on state central, so. but
What
that's
does
different.
being a precinct person advantage you in this
The
election?
precinct person has contact information for all their precinct members.
That's what I was getting.
Every Democrat in their
okay.
precinct, okay?
You're a
Now,
vote builder.
yeah,
A portion too.
it's just your precinct,
Yeah,
okay?
but
Which
that's
is
important.
about 3,000 Democrats, 3 to 6,000 Democrats in our county. So that, the advantage of being a precinct chair is that you can directly contact you have the list of all the precinct members in your precinct. And then the ward chair, of course, has all the contact information for every precinct. There's about 10 precincts in every ward. So that's the advantage.
Thank you.
But I can make that information available to you, to somebody that will help disseminate that to the rest of you. Yes.
Do we know how many delegates we're gonna get to have?
For the national, 37 in the state of New Mexico,
So
and 2
highly,
alternates.
highly competitive.
And do
Very
you just
good.
nominate yourself, or don't you have to
You
have a
nominate
pre-nominate?
yourself, yes. You
Or
nominate.
someone else.
Now, there's another election for delegates to the primary convention. To the national convention. Okay? There is that, and that is very competitive because, like I said, Bernalillo, I think, only got 6 delegates to the national convention. Okay? And it has to be gender balanced.
And 3
But
of them
can't-
have already declared for Hillary.
Okay, but can't that
They're not
be
delegates yet.
divided? In other words, one person can actually be represented, 3 people can represent one person. You know what I'm saying?
Proxies.
You have proxies.
No, not
No?
at conventions. No proxies at conventions. You have to go in person. Now, if you cannot attend the convention, you can go in person, sign off your credentials to another person. But you have to do this in person.
No proxies at ward meetings either.
No proxies at ward meetings either. You have to be there in person. Okay? So that state thing gets a little more complicated as we move along. Like this is the pre-primary. Then we have the primary that's open to everybody. And then the delegates to the national convention, which is going to be very, 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 very
Oh, you'll get
contested.
strong armed at ward meetings.
And I didn't catch your last name.
Canales.
You noticed.
Canales. Yes, ma'am.
Is there a lot this information that you're telling us on your website? Can we find that in case we need to go back and say, wait, what did she say?
Yep.
Is some of that stuff on your website?
Yes,
Wonderful.
yes.
Excellent.
Robin?
We try to put all this, everything that I've just said
Mm-hmm.
will be posted on our website, but not after we have all the ward meetings locked down, all the times, everything.
Okay. That sounds good.
If
So-
this helps, Robin, this will be up and available either on Facebook or on the website.
Sounds great.
Okay, so your first step right now,
Yeah.
find out where your precinct and ward is, okay? Get on the Blue Review, find out the date and the location of your ward. I can send you, well, you'll have it.
Thank you.
You'll have it. Okay, so that's the first step. Get yourself there with at least 5 other people to vote for you. Okay? Neighbors, relatives, all registered Democrats, all registered in your ward. Okay? Once you have been elected, there will be 100 people for these ward meetings, whereas the other ones, sometimes you only have one person show up. But all the candidates will have their people there. We'll have DA candidates, we'll have the county clerk's candidates. So, and most of these may be Hillary people, okay? So you just bully your way in there and get yourself elected, okay? Yes.
At the ward meetings, are we allowed to identify who we're supporting? With a
I-
button or a?
No buttons, no campaign material, nothing. But I've been asked to give people an opportunity to stand up, introduce yourself, and say who you are supporting. I don't know, to me, I don't like that, but
Uses up time.
yeah, it uses up time, but it gives people a little more chance to caucus and then, divide. So, if it were up to me, some wards they have everybody get up and say, why am I running? I'm for so-and-so, and this is why I'm for so-and-so. That'll take hours.
You can do it outside the building.
Yes, you can politic, you can caucus 100 feet from the building, but not inside. Somebody had a question.
How are the other candidates, the down ballot candidates, you said that they're gonna be an element in this, but none of those candidates actually need to be at the state candidates need to have a certain percentage to get on the ballot, correct? But the county commissioner and other.
No, the county clerk and the county commissioners, they just pay $50 to
Right.
get on the ballot.
Got it.
There's no primary
So
for
this is
them.
statewide candidates.
These are the district attorney, and the, who
Okay.
else? All the state reps are running, all the state senators are running. So there's gonna be a little bit of and we may have Secretary of State too.
Maybe.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
So, excuse the basic nature of my questions, but, so if I'm in this room and I stand up and I'm Tracy and I'm for this, and I brought 7 neighbors to vote for me, why am I even standing up and saying that? Am I hoping other people in the room who never saw me before in my
Exactly.
life start voting for me at
Yes,
that moment?
yes, you need
Oh.
those. Or you may,
So
Some
this is
people
a
may show up that are not
45-second campaign.
right, and I was just gonna say, get there ahead of time, because you may want to introduce yourself to other people there
Yeah.
and say, you know what, I would really like to be a delegate for Bernie, would you vote for me? There's some people that are not committed.
Too.
Okay.
You have to stand up and announce it.
Okay, could you,
there's a question
Yes.
like that.
Excuse me.
What
I think a lot of us know how to work rooms, a lot of us know how to get there. What is the preparation that we should do beforehand? It's basically learn who's in our wards, walk the streets and get to know people?
Yes, I'll give him, I have 58 zip drives right now for each ward. I do have mine, which is a master. Maybe I should give you mine.
That'd be fine.
Okay. If you can get a list of people, at least on your block, that are Democrats, and I'll try to work with Guy, and I know Cheryl Harris and I are working together. I'll try to get each of you a list of the Democrats on your block, at least, or surrounding neighborhood. That way you can contact them, you can call them and ask them to come to the meeting to vote for you, or you can go to their door and ask them to vote for you. It's just like running for an office, okay? And usually it wouldn't be this way, but it's very competitive this year. Very, very competitive.
They will be
And
checking your
some
on
of
the
these
list.
people think that they're blessed.
Entitled. is the-
Entitled, there you go. That they're entitled to these positions. And so they'll walk in there thinking they've got it, and they're gonna be surprised. But it's gonna take some work,
You got it.
yes.
Okay, the question that, or the comment that was made in the back about 20%, would you explain what happens at the pre-convention that you have hopefully become a delegate to? What's the 20%?
The 20% of the delegation, they take that 20%, and if Hillary gets 21% and Bernie gets 21%, they'll be put on the ballot. Okay? It's like a runoff. Okay? But if Hillary gets 21% and Bernie gets 20%, he will not automatically be on the ballot.
Whoa.
So
Okay.
it's biased.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. So we want as many of the Bernie people there to get over that 20%. 21% at the
Well,
minimum.
technically, it's an election.
It is.
Technically 19.5% will get you on the ballot.
Yeah, but there's such a, I mean,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
better.
that's where it gets very dirty.
It gets
That's where
very
it gets
dirty.
Isn't there an alternative in signatures obtained?
I don't know about signatures in the presidential.
But now, a question again.
Isn't there an alternative in signatures obtained?
I know that in local, in the statewide elections that, such as Gary King did not make the 20%,
You should
not even the 21%.
But he does.
But he had 17,000 signatures.
That's what I'm getting at. There is a
Exactly.
possibility.
But that's only statewide.
That's statewide.
Okay.
That's
It's
not
not
for
for
national.
the national.
Okay.
Yeah, so no, we can't go and
So it
get
is
signatures.
that is the only door in right now.
That's
That
the
is.
only door in, yes.
Which makes it easier.
I believe that this lady had a question. You had a question.
I
didn't
got
you?
them answered.
Oh, you got them answered. Oh, okay. I thought you were raising your hand and didn't get it. Never mind. Sorry.
Okay,
Did you
Uh,
clear away?
Does each ward have an apportioned number?
now
the
that I
delegates.
can't remember. I can't,
Okay, we
Now,
have to
New
go
York
look
does.
at the rules.
and
just-
that's what I'm meeting about today.
Okay. To address all else been said to you today, if you need to have it written down, it's easier for me to read this stuff.
Me too.
Yeah, and so you can go.
We'll try to do a step by step,
That'd be
Okay.
beautiful.
Yeah.
so that you don't have to read a lot of mumbo
I tried
jumbo.
to get Tom to do that.
Yeah, Tom is very good. Number 1, get to your ward meeting. Number 2, take 10 people with you. We'll try to do it that way.
Well, the
Okay.
pre-steps too of doing
Right.
campaign.
But if
Right.
you wanna get into the details, the nitty gritty,
No,
but, some do. I know, some do, makes it easier for me. There's 33 pages of state party rules. There are only 3 pages of Bernalillo County
No,
rules.
there are more now. We
There are more,
update it.
but you can find them, and you can they're searchable.
You
They're
just have to
sorted.
go to the state party rules, and the county just defers to the state
They're all
party
on the Bernalillo County Party
website.
website, bottom left, it's got a little button there for Bernalillo County Party rules and state party rules. It takes you to a scribd account that just, and don't let that, be intimidating. It's searchable, you can find the answer to your question just by, searching a word.
Right. Let me give you my phone number.
Yes.
515 9662. Ana Canales.
You're a brave lady.
That's my kids. I do work. Sometimes I may not answer. I'm getting into, I do enrollments for the Affordable Care Act. So open enrollment starts November 1st.
I got a question for the crowd, just to see if, because we've
This
got.
lady has a question. Let's
Oh,
take
okay,
her.
go ahead, please.
This is kind of way out there. This is not about the ward meetings or the ward delegates or anything. I want to know, because I've seen a petition online about it, people are wanting other people who support Bernie to write him in during the general election, whether he makes it, as in the primaries
In
or
the
not.
general?
Computer's
So-
not working.
What do we do there? I mean, I know you would know before we would know, and I can probably find this online somewhere after I dig through pages and pages of information, but what chance is there of that happening?
I doubt it. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Historically, over hundreds of years, that hasn't gotten past our electoral college.
Okay,
Yeah.
but if historically,
here,
if he made history.
With 5 electoral votes,
Yeah,
it don't matter.
but let's say nationwide, if he did get enough
It's not
votes,
gonna happen.
It still has to get
Has
past
an
the
entire
electoral
legal team
college.
dedicated to making
Okay.
sure
Right.
he gets on
Yeah,
the
I'd have to
ballot
go
and
read
involved with
the
state.
election handbook from the
Okay.
Secretary of State's, but I don't think. The other thing that I'm looking into is that there's already super delegates declared for Hillary. And it may be that all our delegates, but I'm working with the state party to see how these super delegates get to be super delegates. Are they elected? Because they certainly aren't elected by us.
Not by us.
Yeah, the senators.
And I'm part of the Affirmative Action Committee, so I can do this.
Is there any way
Go ahead.
that we can reach some of these super delegates and perhaps disincline them?
Try.
Good luck, but no, these delegates are tight. They're like Diane Dennis.
Is
It's,
she really?
These are the ones that
Oh.
were for Hillary back in 2008.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's feminist.
These people are still bitter.
they're still bitter. I mean,
You'll
cannot.
never get Raymond
You'll-
Sanchez to
Oh,
switch.
I'd
no.
love to have it shot at.
Let me find out who those super delegates are, and I'll let you know. But the other thing I'm gonna try to do is open these super delegates up for elections. I think that's the only fair thing to do.
Yep.
That'd be great.
And that's
That'd
why I
be
got
great.
into affirmative action.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
At the national, the superdelegate can change position, and they have in the past.
Yes, they
if-
have in the
If there's
past.
a groundswell of blank.
Right, we did in 2012, or was it 2008?
8.
We did have some super delegates for Hillary, and in the end, they gave their vote for
Yeah.
President Obama.
You'd all did, and
Yeah.
you'd all, you can switch him now.
Yeah.
Yeah, call you'd all.
Well,
Office.
just wait till we get our bearings straight here, and then we'll
Got a
go.
strategy.
Right,
We can make
right.
all kinds of-
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
What do we have to bring as far as identification wise?
You don't need identification.
Really?
All you have to do is go to our ward,
not a city.
whoever the ward chair has as their registration people, state your name and address, and that's it.
Okay.
And if you're not on the roster, then they'll have to call me, and I'll have to look into Maggie's database to see.
So we already have to
You
be pre-registered Democrat
Yeah.
Yes.
in our location that we're at now.
Yes.
Okay.
If you're
30
not
days
registered,
prior to that
So our
meeting.
voter
Don't do it
registration
now.
is
I'm already,
our,
I'm done. I'm on that.
I'm sorry?
so our voter registration is our registration at the delegate meeting, or what was that
The
called?
ward
The ward
meeting.
meeting.
Ward meeting.
Yes,
Election.
yes. All you do is go to the table and say, my name is Ana Canales, my address is 2112 Father Sky Street. They'll look you up, have you sign in, and that's it.
As long as you're registered.
As
Democrat,
long as you're
you're in
registered,
trouble if
exactly,
you're not, okay.
exactly.
How long ahead of the